think I pulled a muscle.
Hey guys, it's me. I'm on the run from the FBI because they're after my copy of Lego Indiana Jones: The Original Adventures. Hey, wait a minute. Well, that could make a cool video.
Wow, I just Master Monkey.
Never mind. In this video, I'm gonna be looking at the plot of Lego Indiana Jones with only the context that the game gives me, so no help from any of the movies. Oh, ass, I better get out of here.
Oh.
So, in LEGO Star Wars: The Complete Saga, there's a sneaky little thing if you go in this room right here.
He has discovered the world's most sought-after treasures. He has become known as the greatest adventure hero of all time. But next year, adventure breaks new ground. Lego Indiana Jones, the video game.
And then, bam, they made a game following the LEGO Star Wars formula, but with an Indiana Jones coat of paint. Like, instead of lightsabers, there's whips. I mean, I'm not really into that kind of stuff, but you do you. So, like the last LEGO video, which came out a long time ago, Jesus Christ, please don't watch that one, it sucks. I'm gonna go over the plot of each movie using only the context provided by the game, so there might be some guesswork, and hopefully it'll be less cringy this time.
Let's call them Long Hair Man and Short Hair Man.
Our journey begins in South Africa, 1936. This dude, who we'll eventually find out by the pause menu, is named Sapido, and he licks a fucking pencil out of a tree. Like, what the fuck, dude? We see this guy and this guy get murdered, and this guy runs away from some bats, and then we finally meet our protagonist, Han Solo. After some exploring, Indy finds this golden head thing and swaps it out with some bread because it's like weighted or something. It seems to work at first, but then everything goes to shit and he has to escape from some boulders. You know, classic Indiana Jones things. Jones escapes and is ambushed by Belloc. He's just a douche canoe. Belloc wants the gold head thingy and Indy tries to bribe him with a rubber duck, but I guess he doesn't go for it. Indiana reluctantly gives up the gold, but manages to escape with his resident plane owner, Jock. Cut to Dr. Jones teaching a class at the college because not only is he an adventure man, but also super smart.
You didn't have to cut me off. We were nothing.
After this lady tries to hit on a much older man, Indy is rescued by Brody. We find out his name way later in the game, but I'm using it now. Indy and these guys start looking at pictures and drawings together. I have no idea what's going on. When Jones changes clothes right in front of everybody and goes far away where he finds Marion. I found out that name from the pause screen. Hey, look, it's that thing from the picture. He must be after that. She punches him in the face after he ganders at her necklace thingy, and then I guess it's gameplay time. Scary hat guy walks in and kinda stands there. What a fucking jackass. Hat guy starts a fire, causing Marion to drop the circle thing, but she gets it back shortly anyway. So, Indy and Marion escape, but the building burns down and brings Marion to tears because I guess it was her building or something. Indiana, being the upstanding gentleman he is, tries to get the circle thing again, but Marion refuses and they adventure through the mountains together. They steal a motherfucking car and ride off into the night. Oh, Jesus Christ, these early face models are kinda ass. Together, they end up in Desert World, where Indy has a picture of this guy, Sala. We'll meet him later. Meanwhile, these suited men send this evil guy after Indy and Marion. You can tell he's evil because he has a monkey. The monkey steals the picture, but Indy gets it back shortly, bribing the monkey with a banana. He also avoids being assassinated by falling to core. Indiana is confronted by this hooded man with a sword who Indy promptly murders. Sala walks into frame as Marion is kidnapped by white people. I mean, people wearing white. She drops the medallion and Indy picks it up while giving chase. He shoots the car he thinks has Marion in it and it explodes and she dies. Oh, wait, never mind. There she is. Indy and Sala remain oblivious to Marion's screams of terror as they continue on their next adventure. Indy and Sala continue deserting when they find a hole in the ground until they're interrupted by Soldier Guy and another Soldier Guy, but they have the same face for whatever reason. They avert the soldiers away and jump into the hole and do some light tricks with the medallion. Indy and Sala return at night where they found another hole, and Sala attempts to murder Indy by pushing him in the hole. After exploring the hole, they find the Ark of the Covenant. You know, like the Raiders of the Lost Ark. Sala goes up with the Ark but is ambushed by soldiers.
Oh shit, not good.
Afterwards, Belloc and the scary hat guy drop Marion to her death. There's a giant snake boss here that I'm fairly certain doesn't happen in the movie, so moving on. Indy and Marion escape through a hole in the wall. They pursue the Ark and violently beat up soldier guys. The duo catch up with the Ark, but are stopped by enemy boxer guy, who's immune to bullets for whatever reason. Oh, and also missiles. Enemy Boxer is horrifically decapitated as Sala comes in to make the save with his fancy car. Afterwards, Team Indy reclaim the Ark. Indy and Marion say their goodbyes to Sala as they board this boat, but are quickly ambushed by Nazis, bad guys, and they kidnap Marion and steal the Ark, but Indy follows with his masterful stealth techniques. He arrives at their secret base disguised as one of the army men and rescues Marion, and they play through a Lego Indiana Jones level. Indy and Marion catch up with Belloc and the Nazis, and they think they've got the drop on them with a bazooka until Marion gives their position away, causing Belloc to summon like 5 bazooka Nazis. It doesn't last long, however, as Indy and Marion punch their way to escape, beginning an epic boss fight with Belloc. They punch Belloc, but they're captured once again because guns. Belloc, scary hat guy, and the Nazis open the Ark and are brutally murdered by some ghosts. I don't know why the ghosts don't kill Indy and Marion. Maybe they were out of range or something, but whatever, the day is saved. Back at the college, Marion pulls some straight homophobic shit, and this dude gets lost in the warehouse or whatever. Moral of the story? Don't fuck homophobic bitches.
Yeah, I had no idea that this was a prequel either for the longest time. The game gives you absolutely no information about this except for one teeny tiny little title card right at the beginning of the story. Alright, let's get started.
Our story begins with enemy boxer returning. What the hell? Okay. Our story begins with a new character named Willie Scott doing some dancing and singing in Shanghai. After her performance, she makes her way over to these guys and surprise, surprise, Indiana Jones. The guys slide Indy 2 drinks and Willie a diamond, and Indy presents this green thing. I don't fucking know. Turns out the drinks were poisoned and Indy has to get the antidote. Indy and Willie escape out the window with the antidote and suddenly short round. Dr. Jones, what the fuck? They destroyed their only car, so they have to rebuild it Lego style and hop on a plane owned by those guys. The pilots jump ship, leaving Indy and company for dead, but Dr. Jones uses the modern technology of inflatable raft to save their lives. They land safely in the river of somewhere and are greeted by Old Dude. Old Dude shows them some pictures on a rock and starts making some weird-ass noises, so Indy's like, let's leave. So Old Dude points them towards a castle. They make it to the castle and are welcomed by this guy. I don't know his fucking name. They then feast on monkey brains as Indy questions the dude about some rocks and some kids. As soon as everybody leaves, Team Jones is attacked by some Thug-E guys. Thug-E are these cult dudes. It's pretty scary stuff. After some more exploring, they find a secret entrance into a cave. They discover some kind of ceremony being led by this dude, Mola Ram. He's got a cool hat, and they're sacrificing this dude's clothes for whatever reason. I guess they're into stripping. After that, these white dudes place those rocks from the pictures earlier into this pedestal thing, and Willie gets kidnapped for plot reasons. Indiana tries to snatch the rocks back, but is captured by Mola Ram and this kid. I think he's a prince being mind-controlled, but I'm not completely sure. Willie is placed into the stripping machine, but Indy and Shorty escape and rescue her quickly. As she falls to the lustful gaze of Dr. Jones, he's got his priorities straight and goes to collect the rocks. We see some cult guys about to punch children when Jones does his action pose and Shorty gets kidnapped for plot reasons. Indy and Willie rescue Shorty from the thuggy slave driver and his magic black potion that can permanently bring people back from the dead. Their solution to that is the most violent shit that I've ever seen in my life.
Jeez, what was this game rated?
I don't even know if that's PG.
I guess 2008 was a different time.
Team Indy use some minecarts to escape the cave. They approach a bridge overlooking a river full of crocodiles or alligators or whatever, where they have their final confrontation with Mola Ram. They chop the bridge down as Mola Ram falls to his death, and to celebrate, Team Indy hits an epic dance number. They return the rock to the village and the day is saved. Indy gets cock-blocked by an elephant, bringing Temple of Doom to an end. Moral of the story? Don't fuck dancing bitches. Indy's last adventure begins with this old dude, who I guess is Indiana Jones's dad based on this picture. Yeah, it says Henry Jones right here. Putting this book in this red box until he gets violently assaulted from behind. Cut to Dr. Jones receiving the book, and inside is a picture of this thing with a cross on it. Then some old dude, I think his name is Donovan, shows up and gives Indy and Brody 2 tickets to Venice.
Bon voyage.
They arrive in Venice, passing a bunch of characters from older levels, and meet the most beautiful Lego woman known to man, Miss Elsa Schneider.
I have never been this attracted to a Lego person in my entire life. Oh wait, yeah I have.
With the help of Elsa, they arrive at a library and cause some casual property damage. Jeez, I punched the shit out of that library. As they enter some, catacombs or something, I don't fucking know. Elsa hops down and starts playing with some corpses. I guess she a freak like that. Together they find a certain gravestone with a shield that I guess completes the pictures they had of the cross. Brody gets bonked. This Fez dude throws a bomb down into the catacombs, flushing out Indy and Elsa, so they promptly beat the shit out of him. He tells them Indy's father is being held captive in a castle somewhere. Indy and Elsa arrive at the castle and pull some Scooby-Doo shit in order to get inside. They notice some fine arts as they finally reunite father and son with a cup to the head. Turns out this is a Nazi castle, and Elsa was a Nazi all along, using Indy to get to his book.
Why is it always the hot ones that are crazy?
They capture Jones and Jones Sr., but they escape by burning the whole place down. What the fuck? I'm just gonna play this clip. Dad wants to use some boats to escape, but Indiana is like, fuck that, motorcycles, yeah! They come to a crossroads, one path back to Venice and the other to a blimp. Indy wants to go back to Venice, but Henry is after the Holy Grail, so he forces Indy to go to the blimp because that means Holy Grail for whatever reason. Indy and Father Jones get on a blimp with a bunch of people who all look the same, not racist by the way, as the evil Nazi guys approach. What is Indy's response to this? Punch him out the window. Obviously. They notice that the blimp is turning around, so they hijack the onboard plane, but shortly after they crash. Skipping over a whole level, the Joneses are rescued by the returning Sala and his blue bus. The gang discovers Elsa, Donovan, and Brody? I don't know. But the reflection of the binoculars alerts Team Nazis of their presence. The Nazi tank guy is charging up to fire, but is stopped by these dudes from Venice.
What?
Indy and Sala begin to take their approach as Henry takes a motherfucking nap for plot reasons. Indiana and Sala then proceed to defeat the evil general Nazi guy who has a tank and bazooka, by the way, all on their own. No guns, vehicles, nothing. Oh, no wait, he drives away, never mind. Well, Indy ends up on top of the tank with Nazi Man inside as the tank goes off the cliff, seemingly killing them both. Sala and Dad Jones mourn the loss of Indy as he climbs up the cliff due to his main character immunity, and also the fact that you respawn when you fall off cliffs in these games. Indy, Sala, and Henry come across this temple place guarded by army men, but then when the level starts, Brody appears out of nowhere, like he wasn't in the cutscene at all. They get inside the temple and are captured by Elsa, Donovan, and the army guys. Donovan wants the Holy Grail because apparently it can bring people back to life, but when Indy is like, he straight up shoots Indy's dad. Donovan says the Grail is the only thing that can save his dad now, so Indy and Sala go in after it. I'd like to note that this section is super cool because you have to use knowledge only found in the movie to complete this level, like spelling out Jehovah or the Invisible Bridge. Indy and Sala make it to the Grail Knight, who presents them with a room full of cups. He tells them that the one true Grail is filled with High C Fruit Punch, while every other cup is filled with some variation of red doo-doo water. Donovan comes sprinting in and drinks from a random Grail, resulting in him horrifically dying. Indy goes to choose a Grail but is stopped by the knight who attacks him. After numerous trial and error attempts, Indy finds the Holy Grail of High C Fruit Punch and is all like, damn, that shit good. He takes the Grail out to Dad, who is immediately revived, but then the Grail is taken by Elsa, who holds it for 3 seconds and then falls in a hole with the Grail and dies. Team Indy escapes the temple having learned lessons, carried horses, drank High C Fruit Punch, and so much more. They ride off into the sunset, ending Indiana Jones's final adventure, at least until the next game. Moral of the story? Don't fuck Nazi bitches.
Alright, so unlike the last LEGO video, I'm actually going to talk about the game this time around.
LEGO Indiana Jones largely follows the formula of LEGO Star Wars, that being playing levels and collecting stuff. Since Indiana Jones is a more grounded franchise in general, they had to really mix up the gameplay to keep it interesting. There's no space wizards here. You'll mostly play as Indiana Jones and his few companions throughout the game, so what did they add to keep this game fun without the flips and lightsabers and shit? I think LEGO Indiana really ups the quality in terms of puzzles and level design. LEGO Star Wars didn't really have puzzles, it was just force this or shoot that. But here, all the puzzles feel integrated into the world, so you really feel like a super cool archaeologist guy, because those guys are cool. Obviously. The puzzles aren't necessarily more complicated. I mean, this is still a kid's game, but they feel more thought out and puzzly. Another thing they added was picking shit up. There isn't many abilities in LEGO Indiana, so instead you get the most use out of tools. You can pick up keys, guns, shovels, wrenches, swords, boxes. I used to joke around with my friend that I always needed to find my wrench because it was my favorite weapon, but now I realize it's got real short range and kinda sucks ass. You use most of these things as puzzle solutions to like dig or fix shit. Picking up fallen weapons from enemies feels very Indiana Jones-y to me, and I like it. The few abilities that actually are in the game are pretty neat, I guess. Indy's whip is the first one. You can use it on these specific pads to either swing somewhere or pull shit, and it makes a nice cracking sound when you use it, and I like that. The next ability is that women can jump higher. Why can they jump higher? Equality, I guess. Really, I think they needed to mix up the level design because Indy always has a gal pal and they don't really bring anything new to the table ability-wise. Last ability is certain women can scream to shatter glass.
2008 really was a different time. Oh, and short characters can crawl through hatches and stuff.
I think the combat, on the other hand, is a step down from LEGO Star Wars. I mean, there's no wizards, it's just two dudes punching in a hot tub 4 feet apart because they're not gay. I find very little satisfaction from killing dudes in this game. Most of the time, they're just in the way, killing me while I'm trying to do stuff and it ain't fucking cool. Later in the game, when enemies have bazookas and grenades, they spam them and they're one-shot, so you're gonna be losing a lot of money. Fortunately, death isn't a huge consequence in these games. You lose some money and then respawn, but if you're going for 100% completion, that money could be important. After you finish the main story, that's when the real meat of the game opens up. You unlock the ability to go back into any level in free play mode where you can play as any character in the game and collect all the shit. Well, what do you need to collect? There are 10 mini-kits, 1 red parcel, and True Adventurer in every level. Mini-kits are these treasure things that act as a basic collectible that build up a little trophy at the end of every level. True Adventurer is this bread meter up here that fills up as you collect money. You fill it, and that's another thing off the checklist, I guess. The red parcels are where things get interesting. You find these and place them in the red mailboxes, and you unlock the ability to purchase an extra. Extras are basically little cheats that make the game more fun, like giving you extra money, helping you find stuff, making you invincible, or making animals poop. There's a little room where you can enter cheat codes to unlock some of these too. You can also use your money to buy the many unlockable characters the game has to offer. There's not too many crazy characters in the Indiana Jones franchise, but there's a couple neat ones like the Grail Knight. My favorite thing about 100%ing this game is that the game breaks in half as soon as you unlock all the characters you need to complete the game. I ran back through with my custom character named Feet Guy with his bazooka and collected everything in about 2 hours, and it was tons of fun. I think it helps that there's lots of things you can collect while still playing the main story, so it doesn't feel like that daunting of a task to collect everything. Once you collect all the characters and mini-kits, you can go into Indy's office and solve a couple puzzles to unlock a key. You take this key to the treasure room to unlock 3 secret levels: Young Indy, Ancient City, and Warehouse. Ancient City and Warehouse are 2 levels where the goal is to collect a certain amount of money, and I even cheesed Warehouse with this bullseye and bazooka, but Young Indy is where it gets interesting. You'll play the opening to the Last Crusade movie where a young Indiana Jones is on the run from some bandits. This is cool as fuck because for 1, Indy gets his whip mid-level, and for 2, he doesn't receive his fear of snakes until mid-level, and shit like that is just cool to me. Once you do all that, you should have 100%, right? But wait, there's still a character missing. In order to unlock this man, you have to find all the Star Wars secrets in certain levels. I think you see where this is going. You find all the Star Wars characters and you unlock Han Solo, who plays just like he does in LEGO Star Wars. After all of that, you should finally have 100%ed the game, and it'll start raining money in the college as a celebration. Overall, I had fun here. I enjoy Indiana Jones as a franchise, and the simple fun of the LEGO games meshes well with it here. But it suffers from the same problems that all LEGO games have. It will get repetitive if you play too long. Some would say that these games are too simple, and while I wouldn't go that far, I will advise that you take breaks while playing these games. But like I said, I enjoyed my time here, probably even more than LEGO Star Wars. I think it's really fun breaking the game in half after unlocking everything you need to do so, and frankly, I enjoy the music a lot more here too.